Hey, I wanted to share a little snippet of an update that I gave to premium subscribers of my newsletter, Crypto is Easy. This one talks about stablecoins. There's something going on with USDC that nobody's talking about, but they really should. I'm talking about it. Usually I talk about USDT. I do talk about Tether a little bit, but it's the USDC thing that I think is pretty vital that you know about right now. Let's take a look at a few more things here. The stablecoin supply ratio oscillator. This is a way to assess the impact stablecoins have on Bitcoin, the strength of a movement in stablecoins and how that might affect Bitcoin. So that fell basically over the past year, almost a year. It fell down here, which is good. We want this metric to stay low. It's like a tank of gas, and it doesn't mean that you're going to drive anywhere. But when it goes lower, that's like filling up the tank. So that when you drive, you'll go further. You have more gas in the tank, you go further. Now this metric has started going upwards. That means we started using some of that gas. Now, we don't know how much gas is in the tank. We don't know how much gas that tank can hold. All we know is that it's risen substantially since September. Doesn't mean we're going to run out of fuel. We don't even know how much fuel we need or how much fuel we have. It just means that stablecoins don't have as much of an impact now as they did a month ago. So $1 billion worth of stablecoins that goes into the market is not going to push price up as much now as it was before. You might think, well, of course, that makes sense. The price is higher. But it's more than that because there's always buyers and sellers. The price is a function of buyers and sellers in the moment, not the market cap. Of course, bigger market cap, more liquidity, more buyers, more sellers. It's harder to move price. When prices move, they don't move as extreme. But that's the mechanics of setting price. I'm just talking about stepping back and looking at the circumstances. And the stablecoin supply ratio oscillator helps us do that. The number of stablecoins grew while the percentage in smart contract dropped over the past month. You remember that from the last update. A lot of that shift came from people using stablecoins to buy Bitcoin. And the recipients of those stablecoins kept those stablecoins in the market. So everything kind of fits together. It basically corroborates the story that the stablecoin supply ratio is telling you. But there is a concern, and it is a concern about USDT because basically the entire move came on USDT rising, as it has been for a very long time. We go even further back. This chart just goes back, 2 months, a little more than 2 months, 2.5 months. And it's just, it's up. It's up only for USDT. We know some USDT is fake. We know Tether hands out IOUs from time to time. One of their customers will say, hey, look, I need 100 million USDT right now. I'll give you 20 million. I'll give you the other 80 million next week. We know that happens. Does it matter? No, because people think USDT is worth $1. As long as they can keep it worth $1, then who cares? Well, I mean, the law enforcement might care. People who have a sense of justice and care about justice and honesty and integrity might care. But for us as investors, we don't need to worry about that when we're looking at the market. USDC, that's the real deal. And USDC has gone down 1.6 billion in just less than a month. Not even a month, it was like 3 weeks. It's down $1.6 billion. On the one hand, it's not used widely outside of the US. Basically, I shouldn't say that, but entities that operate within the legacy financial system and people in the US. That's basically the client base. So that kind of limits the impact. It's also, it's $1.6 billion out of $160 billion worth of stablecoins. So that limits the impact too, but we got to keep an eye on it because this reflects actual dollar inflows. It's a small segment of the market. Admittedly, it's coming from a small segment of the market. So let's treat it as such, but let's also dismiss this at your own peril. Let's acknowledge USDC is going down, whereas all their stablecoins are either flat or rising. And this is the only stablecoin that we know reflects actual inflows. So let's keep an eye on it. Should we continue to see USDC fall as Bitcoin's price goes up? And USDT is the only thing making up a difference. And we can see some other circumstances that might signal we might need to read into this a little bit more. Then we'll start to worry. Then that becomes more likely that the market's riding on fake liquidity rather than new capital. And that could very well be what's happening right now. I just don't have the evidence to say that. But I do want to raise this point just so that we're really grounded in reality here. I hope you enjoyed that. Relax and enjoy the ride.